mentioned about hitting rock bottom, Pamela. Take us a bit through that story.
Yeah, so like I said, I left and I knew, it was that night, so it wasn't a big plan. It was that night that I ended up, unconscious on the floor of the closet. That night that I called the police on him and they didn't take him away. I called them and I said, I want to leave. If you could be here while I leave, the police stood by at the house with him while I left. So so I left and I felt like, oh, good, everything will be great now. And as soon as I left, then I started the process of the divorce and went through all of that. And I was still working at that same place, but I started getting really fearful, really anxious, really depressed, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. It just like smacked me like I ran into a wall. I had no idea why this was happening. I felt like everything should be great now. I'm on my own. I don't have, an abusive or toxic relationship. It's just me. I still have this good job. I'm living somewhere on my own. Everything will be great. But it was not. And like I said, I ended up being so fearful, so depressed. I became suicidal, and I realized, part of the problem with the anxiety, or I thought anyway, because when I went to work, it was the only place that he knew where I was, and he knew the schedule I worked and everything. So I quit that job, and then I had a series of other jobs because I was finding myself unable to really have that kind of responsibility or take care of others. Because, like I said, I was a nurse. I had trouble dealing with it all and sort of broke down and just, crashed. And I could barely take care of myself, for a while. And a friend of mine said, who was going through the same thing almost, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, had a bad divorce, said, hey, I might be going to California to have a fresh start. Maybe you want to do that too. It's a good idea maybe if you want to go. And so I said to my landlord, I said, well, maybe, I had never thought about it before. And I said to my landlord, because I'd have to be breaking the lease or leaving early or something. So I said, I might be I might be moving out of state. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm not sure right now, but I just wanted to give you a heads up and let you know. And they said to me, can you be out in 2 weeks? We were thinking of selling the house anyway, because it was just a small little house, like a 1 or 2 bedroom house, and very small, that I was renting. And they said, yeah, we thought we would sell the house anyway. Can you be out in 2 weeks? So So I figured it out. I found a way to get there. I got a bus ticket. I got rid of almost everything, and I got a bus ticket. And at this point, I think I was just 50 years old, and I went on the bus. 3 days, 3-day ride from Missouri to California. I was in Missouri at that point and came to California. Alone on a bus, 50 years old, totally numb, out of my mind.